They've caught me again. Since Shankton State Pen couldn't hold me, they moved on to a more secure prison, the Jungle Compound. We've been declared a menace to society and locked up yet again. In this prison, we have a roommate, so I'll have to work around that. There's also a contraband detector between the two halves of the prison. We start every day off with a roll call, which I'll use to relapse back into my favorite activity, robbery. And with that done, we head over to breakfast, and then it is time to work. We've got the gardening job, which is, pretty easy. All I have to do is some weeding with a mop, and I earn $15. My plan to escape is pretty simple. I just dig a hole past the wall. So, I decided to make my way into this secluded area because I was pretty sure that guards don't actually enter it. I made an appearance for exercise block, and then I made a poster for the wall. After my free period ended, it was time for dinner, and then a second work period. I finished breaking the wall, but it was blocked by the bookcase, so that was a complete waste of my time, and I started trying to break the block next to it instead. I walked around a bit, trying to get a lay of the land, but I'm blocked by this fence. So we end the day with a trip to the showers before joining the evening roll call and then drifting off into day 2. I saw some duct tape and metal, and then found an exotic feather. It is a required item for this map specifically, so I just dropped it in the desk for later. I spent some time working out the mine, and then I got back to the wall. So I now have a contraband pouch so I can sneak illegal items back and forth without getting sniped, and I was a bit tired at this point, so I took care of that before finally destroying the correct wall and entering the back room. I thought the ladder would lead to a vent, but it actually just went to the roof, so, now I don't need to get rid of the wall block, at least. Next up, I needed to get a supply of wood, since I'll need it to make a bunch of tunnel braces. I'll need to be careful not to get caught by a guard, though. There's no way a guard saw me rob blanks, but it's fine, whatever. I made my way in and got a useless piece of rope for my efforts, but now I can get unlimited wood and metal. I crafted some paper mache for later, and then I skipped roll call to catch up on my sleep. Now I told you we're tunneling out, so I made a tool handle and then turned that into a shovel. I stole a file, but since I can't get it to my desk, it'll stay in the closet for now. And now I've got a fake wall block, so I'll just bring that over to the back room eventually. I brought the shovel over, but for some reason I left the fake wall block behind. And it's time to start digging. We've got a long way to go, but the shovel makes quick work of dirt. There are a few ways to get rid of the dirt. I chose to flush the first stack down the toilet, but it ended up clogging it, so it's going to stay in my desk for now. If you combine 2 pieces of timber, you can make a brace, and that'll let me dig for another 2 tiles. Now near the end of the day, I saw a fight break out, and another way to get rid of dirt is to just give it to an unconscious inmate. Rather than upgrade my existing shovel, I decided to build a new one, because I forgot you don't need 2 shovels to upgrade them. And day 5 ended with a desk search, so I dropped everything illegal into my cellmate's desk. Luckily though, I didn't have to drop the subscribe button to the channel in there, because not only is that legal, but it's actually encouraged. And then I stole all my stuff back the next morning. And the next day, I was a victim of police brutality. I was just trying to get my job done and I got beaten unconscious for it. And I got a bit greedy trying to get some more wood, couldn't get the wall back in time, so they caught me, they fixed the wall, and they sent me to solitary. So I just reset the day. I need a cell key. So I started knocking out guards trying to find who had it. It's not Spud or Radford, but Ronald that actually has it. I reset the day and barely got him out of sight of the guards. So I stole the key, made a mold, then I grabbed his baton and outfit for later on. And we now have a plastic cell key. I finally brought the fake wall block over, so now we won't get caught again, hopefully. I attacked Craig for some easy cash, and then I got back to digging the next day. After reducing my fatigue, I made a lightweight shovel and used the last of my pouch to bring it into the tunnel. I kept going until I hit a stone. I grabbed some forks and chipped it to pieces before finding another one right after. And after a bit more digging, I dropped off all my dirt with Bruce, bought a bit more duct tape, and then moved on to day 9. I wanted to see if I could dig up during the day, and the answer is no. After successfully passing a desk search, I did some more learning, and then I crafted a sturdy shovel, the best one in the game. I lost my job, but since I'm leaving today, that's not important to me. Sadly, I was given an inspection in the evening, so I only kept what I needed, and I gave the rest to blanks. After the guard left, I put up a curtain, put the bed dummy in my place, and put on the guard outfit. Using my key, I left my cell, moved to the other side of the prison, and entered the hole. I started digging up, pausing to let the truck go by, and then I filled in the hole behind me. Now I went to the guard's shack, and I realized that it was locked behind a staff key, which I did not have. So I just started chipping. I had to avoid the truck and any patrolling guards. one of whom somehow could tell exactly who I was, but didn't seem too concerned with actually catching me. After finally breaking in, a guard happened to walk up right then and saw the hole before I could get out, so I had to restart the day. I knocked out Simon, stole his staff key, and then I waited for lights out. Same as before, I set myself up, got all my items, including now the plastic staff key, and rather than break in, I walked right into the shack, grabbed the papers, combined them with my ink and my feather to make an ID, and then I headed all the way back down where I gave Checkpoint Charlie my papers and left through the guard's checkpoint. And with that, we have officially escaped the jungle compound. Next up is San Pancho, a hard prison to escape from. According to the warden, everybody's always angry and the guards don't even enter the prison. As you can see, we have multiple cellmates this time, and the guards do show up, but only for meals and roll calls. I'm a gardener again, but this time I'm actually going to switch my job and become a tailor. I got him to attack me, but he had already finished his job, and I actually got fired from my job instead, because I didn't do it. After dinner, I tried again, and got him to chase me for 3 entire hours. And I've officially stolen his job. We move on to day 2 in a pretty good position. Now this is why I wanted to be a tailor. So I can use this back room for a hole, because we are going to dig a hole again. The job is simple. Use 3 pieces of fabric to craft a piece of clothing. Then creek behind the wall was good. I do actually need a pair of cutters. I'll keep this wall covered, but I'm pretty sure the guards will never check here because they're only here for meals and roll call. I started breaking the next wall, crafted myself a shovel, and then finished it the next day. There's nothing behind it. The darkness was not hiding a passage like I thought, so that was a waste of time. I put my spoons to use, doing something actually useful, and started crafting my tunnel. This time, we're going up, since we're at the top of the prison. Unlike the compound, this is going to be a lot harder, since I don't have an unlimited supply of timber, to make braces with. I wanted to drop the dirt, but I just refilled the hole I just dug instead, so bit stupid of me. After surviving the first search of the prison, I redug the tunnel and then clogged up a toilet with a mound of dirt, but someone can deal with that later. I put up a poster, despite, again, the guards not entering, and I found out where this ladder takes me. Thanks to the prison payphone, I now know that the generator is on the roof, and that there are also mines, and that I need to tunnel under them, which, luckily for me, is what I'm already doing. I built a spike strip for the Jeep, and then I learned the final tip was that I could do exactly what I just did. Now, since I didn't learn my lesson earlier, I started trying to break down this wall next, and apparently my cellmates are snitches. I kept tunneling on, but I'm out of wood. Oh, and now I'm not. I finally approached the fence. It extends all the way underground, and as you can guess based on the hint about the generator, it is indeed electrified. I made a pickaxe for any stones that might appear, and I saw once more that there was nothing behind these walls. So I replaced it with a fake wall block, grabbed some more timber, and increased my intelligence. Now we have a better shovel, and we can't go any further until I cut the fence, but I can't do that until I shut off the generator on the roof. I kept upgrading my tools, destroyed the wall to the shower so I could sneak out without needing a cell key. I swapped the fake block around so that it would actually be useful, and I moved on to the next day. During roll call, I grabbed the goat outfit and went to find the generator. It wasn't anywhere I could reach, which means that I need to access it through the kitchen. But for that, I need a key, which Officer Heiko just happened to have. I forgot how to upgrade a pickaxe, and I wasted a lot of money buying another crowbar. It actually just needed a piece of timber though. I forgot to record most of day 10, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but I realized that the shower door needs a cell key, so I got that, and then I made some fake fencing. I put the bed dummy in my place, donned my goat outfit, went to the kitchen, up to the roof, and I found the generator. I cut open the fence, shut down the generator, replaced the fence, and then I rushed back down to the tunnel. I only have a short while before the generator turns back on, so I cut up the fence, and then moved on to day 11. Since I'm no longer blocked, I got right back to tunneling, and I, luckily, have a few braces saved up. I finally found the landmines, but easy solution, we can just go right around them. My pick made short work of this stone, and now I need to be very careful to avoid blowing myself up. Unfortunately, I wasn't, and I walked right into one, sending me to the infirmary and losing me my pickaxe, shovel, and timber braces. So, I reset the day, but I thought it was 3 hits to break a stone rather than 2, so I accidentally dug a tiny hole and got caught. This time, I was more careful, and I managed to make it past the mines again. I kept moving forward until I was blocked yet again. So, it's time to make a multi-tool. Once I raised up my intelligence, I combined a shovel and a pickaxe to create the best mining tool in the game, capable of obliterating both stone and dirt. And I plan to leave tonight, so I made some posters to hide me destroying the outer walls, and I waited for lights out. I grabbed my outfit, dummy, keys, spike strip, and cutters. I suited up and made my way out, carefully moved past the landmines, and waited for the Jeep to drive overhead. I then dug up, replaced the dirt behind me, and I ran right onto a landmine. The stupidest thing I could have done. There was absolutely no danger, and I killed myself. So, I reset the day and managed to dig all the way to the outer wall this time. As you can see, there was no mining through this thing. I did my job one last time, since if I got fired, I couldn't access my tunnel, and it was time to leave. This time, I dropped the spike without killing myself. The Jeep arrived just as I started chipping the wall, so I ran for my life to the other side. The strip disabled the Jeep, but not for very long, and I resumed chipping once it passed. I put up a poster, since this doesn't look suspicious at all, and then I waited for it to pass again. It took a while, but I was patient, and without anyone seeing, I destroyed the second wall and walked off into the night. Once again, a free man. We've done Center Perks, Stalag Flucht, Shankton State Pen, the Jungle Compound, and San Pancho. That just leaves HMP Iron Gate, the Alcatraz of the Escapists, assuming you ignored the actual Alcatraz map. Warden Davis is nice enough to warn us that we'll need a boat to escape. So, let's get right down to work. As you can already see, it is a very secure map. Cameras in every cell watching for any illegal activities, and contraband detectors at nearly every doorway. This is going to be a tough one. As you can see, the cameras know when I'm committing robbery, but I will never be deprived of my favorite activity, because I have a way around this. If I become a mailman, then the cameras won't even care. Guards still will if they see me, but not the cameras. Unlike the other maps, we do have an afternoon roll call here, which is going to be annoying. Also, since we're indoors, there are no snipers to attack me, similar to Shankton, which is good. Our free time is only 1 hour, much shorter than the other maps, but we still have time to exercise and eat. The guards have stun rods, which will insta-kill me regardless of health or armor, so I'm not going to attempt to take over here. After shower block, it's time for the evening roll call, and then lights out. 3 hours earlier than in the past maps. Since I'm swapping jobs, I let myself get fired, and then I learned that duct tape can disable cameras. However, I have a less wasteful way of doing that. If you use some toothpaste, it'll be disabled for 30 seconds. And a trick that we haven't needed to use yet, if you click on a desk, and then you click on another desk, you'll rob the second desk instead. It's very useful to avoid detection, in a map like this, with cameras everywhere. I'll need crowbars to escape, so I'll need to collect a lot more cash. I tailed Buster for a bit, and then I launched my attack. He got me, but I distracted him long enough to get him fired. And after doing some light browsing on the internet for a very long time, I was able to apply and officially became HMP Iron Gate's newest mailman. I made some clippers to consolidate space in my desk, and the next day I found someone selling balsa wood, which is a unique item I need to escape this map. Once I buy enough, I can create a raft. Since it's contraband, I had to hurry to get it in my desk, though. Now, being a mailman is easy. I just need to deliver letters to the inmates or to their desks, and I get a nice paycheck of $45. Since I'm getting searched, I had to move items into 3 different toilets in order to pass, and after they were done checking and stealing all my forks, I just moved everything back. I barely managed to get this duct tape into the toilet before I got zapped, but I did, so I was able to move it out safely after. And as you can see, the cams no longer raise heat when I searched a desk. Since I skipped breakfast, we were almost put into a lockdown, but I revealed myself and avoided solitary. I bought a second piece of balsa wood, but I had to get it past 2 different detectors, so I left it in the mailroom and just hoped that no guards would enter it before I got back. And then I found the next item I needed, rope. I need a lot of rope. I made the sail, then the base, and I'll combine the 2 together once I get more rope. I was locked out of my cell and none of the guards really seemed to care, so I just punched one and got respawned in my bed. And we can now move on to day 6. There's more balsa wood being sold, but I already have all I need. I ran out of breakfast with some rope, barely avoiding detection, and made the makeshift raft. One of the 2 main items is now ready. I dropped it off in the toilet to avoid a search, and then I bought a crowbar. I still need 1 more of those, and then just another piece of rope before I can leave. I decided to leave the raft in the toilet, since guards don't check there, and I needed more space in my desk. This turned out to be a very poor decision. I started cutting open the vent above my cell with a plastic knife, and then I had to move everything since I got called for another cell search. And if you notice, I no longer have the raft in my toilet. I thought items stayed there indefinitely, but I clearly was wrong. And now I have to rebuy all the wood and the ropes, which are pretty expensive. I started this process by buying some rope, and then I found my final crowbar. I used it to make the grapple head and then a grappling hook, which was the other important item I needed. So I could theoretically have left tomorrow if I wasn't an absolute moron. Luckily, Brad was a godsend, and he had more rope for sale. If I was a little bit wealthier, I would have bought both, but I can't be upset with one. I finished cutting the vent just in time, and once I craft a cover, that'll be done. I bought another piece of balsa wood, and then Hunter gave me my second, which is actually my fourth, piece of wood. So, I need one more rope in order to finish making a second raft. I took care of the vent, and then I found my final piece of rope. And on day 11, we now have the raft and the grappling hook complete. All I need to do now is find a staff key, and then get a goat's outfit. So, it's time to play the fun game of who has the key. It's not Steve, it's not Lucas, it's not Aiden, not Clark, not Luis, it's not Leroy, not Simon, or Terrell. It was actually Jacob who had it. I knocked him out in front of multiple guards, none of whom noticed, and I got my key. I did forget to get his outfit though. Now I got shot by a guard who saw me rob him, but the mold was already safely tucked away in my desk. I made an infirmary outfit just in case I couldn't find a guard, but luckily for me, Heiko had one. So I bought it and then got attacked on the way back, losing it instantly. No worries, since Brad also had one, which I did manage to get to my desk. And that's it, we move on to day 3, and it's time to give the breakout a try. I bought the remaining hints, which just told me about bed dummies, and warning me that I can't tunnel or chip my way out of here. Since I'm good to go, I sat in my cell until lights out. I'll need the raft, grappling hook, clippers, the key, a bed dummy, and the outfit to leave. Once the doors were locked, I shut down my camera, put the dummy in my place, changed into a guard, and then failed to unlock the vent. I kept trying to cut the fake vent cover for some reason, but I eventually made it up and covered it before the camera saw. I cut my way through the 2 sets of slats and made it to the ladder. I got sniped, which I wasn't expecting because snipers usually leave after lights out. However, since we go to bed early here, they're still around until 11 o'clock, which I did not realize at first. I keep dying during these escape attempts. They're really not going well today, unfortunately. But in the end, all that matters is that we get out. After whittling the day away and checking that I wasn't being searched, I once again made my way into the vents. And this time, I waited 2 hours for the snipers to leave. After I dropped down, I avoided the roaming guard and entered the shack, where I got a useless shovel. I went up to the roof and cut my way to another crate, which had a key that I also don't need. I used the grappling hook to rappel down the concrete wall and out of prison. I still need to sail off though, and I couldn't seem to get that to work. I was worried that I had missed something, but I eventually found the dock, and I sailed off into the night. And with that, I've officially escaped HMP Iron Gate, the hardest base map in the game, and I've earned myself the Great Escape achievement. We finally escaped from all the prisons, barring bonus content or custom maps, obviously. But that's all. There's no prison left that can hold us. We are a master escapist, the greatest that the world has ever seen. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see next. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.